Alright, so I don't know what's kind of into me recently, but this fandom does things and I just get really mad. And I made a post about this a few days ago, but I forgot everything that I wanted to say. So I wrote a list so I don't forget anything here. Okay, so I've said this 100 times and I'll probably wind up saying it 100 more. Calling each other directioners and directionators is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I have nothing to say about it. But anyway, so firstly, you're not any less of a fan if you don't know everything about the boys. Because like if you meet them, they're not going to be like, if you don't know the exact time I was born in the exact place, I'm not going to take a picture with you, because they don't care. And if you seriously think you're better than somebody else because you know some obscure fact about Niall, then just get away, because it doesn't matter. You're not any less of a fan because of it. And anybody who knows me in middle school can call me out and say I'm being the biggest hypocrite ever right now, because I did the exact same thing with All Time Low. But that was 4 years ago. I've changed since then. Which brings me to my next point. Everyone who's complaining about wanting the boys on the stairs back, just please get away from me. That was 2 years ago. They were 16 and 18 years old then. They've grown up. Think how you were 2 years ago. 2 years ago I was in 8th grade and I was some pretentious bitch who thought she was better than everybody else because she listened to pop punk and classic rock and complained about how today's music sucked and whatever. Okay, 2 years later I'm in love with the world's biggest boy band. And they are the world's biggest boy band, and I think you all forget that. They've had to change. They've had to. They've had to get used to like 50 plus fans screaming at them every single time they leave the hotel. And they've had to grow thicker skin because everyone's going to be insulting them and picking at every little thing that they do. And if you're seriously going to complain about that, I have nothing to say. Alright. And like, the boys don't have to do anything that they do for us. They don't have to do meet and greets, and they don't have to take pictures with fans outside of hotels and studios and whatever's, and they don't have to do twit cams, but they do it because they love us and they appreciate us. So like, so could we just give them like the tiniest bit of respect? If you see them on the street and you know it's their day off, could you like not go and crowd around them and start screaming? And if they kindly tell you that they want to spend the day with their family, don't call them egotistical assholes, because that's not fair. And alright, and okay, and about Liam and Niall being mobbed in Times Square on Sunday, the fact that people are even complaining about that makes me want to jump off the George Washington Bridge. I saw this post that said, this isn't about respect. It is about respect. You can't just go up to them and start screaming and expecting them to be okay with it. They're not going to be okay with it. And I don't even remember what I was going to say about this. I'm sure that if you asked them nicely, they wouldn't have minded taking a picture with you. But if you're just... Alright. Anyway, moving on. And this is something that's made me mad ever since I first joined this band. You're not any less of a fan if you don't think the boys are gay. That's not... Until any of them come out and say that they're gay, you have no right to tell anybody that they're less of a fan because they don't think that. That's not fair. That's not... And it is so annoying to see you all belittle Louis and Liam's relationship with their girlfriends. It makes me want to die. Like, imagine how Eleanor felt the day Louis Needs a Shave was trending. I couldn't get over that. That's so disrespectful and nasty, and I couldn't even believe it even happened. And, okay, and about the boys changing and stuff, just... I have nothing to even say. Do you all remember the time I was after Up All Night came out here in the US, and Louis said something about how the US fans got it to #1 before the UK fans, and everyone started screaming and crying about how Louis was saying the US fans were better, and everyone was like, oh, he's such a douchebag, he's such an asshole. Meanwhile, they're the same girls who 2 hours before that would have ripped somebody up if they said they didn't like Louis' voice, and then all of a sudden, like a day later, they loved him again. That's ridiculous. And I might start crying. I'm so mad just talking about this. And then everything was fine, and then all of a sudden the restaurant incident happened with him and his grandpa, and now everyone's mad at him again and calling him an asshole and a douchebag. And moving. And the photo set of Louis just walking by the carrots and people just brushing it off as him being sassy. That's not being sassy, he's just being an ass. And it's just so annoying. And I know I just complained about this, but you can't just brush it off as him being sassy. And the US versus UK fights in general makes me want to throw myself off a bridge. That's not... And it just makes me so mad to see the UK fans complaining about the US fans. Meanwhile, they're like camping outside Harry's house so he has to move out. That's not fair. You can't do that. You can't say the word fans while you're camping outside their house. And I had so much more to say, but I'm so mad now that I have to just stop making this video. I hope you all enjoyed my rant.